WrestleMania 41 is this weekend. It is finally here after one of the longest roads to WrestleMania ever. It's pushed back deep into April. And we are making our predictions for all of the announced matches for night one and night two of WrestleMania, of which there are 13 currently announced matches. This is being filmed right after the Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania. So. Things could be announced on the final Smackdown the day before WrestleMania, but we do have a few extra things thrown in here to predict that are matches that could get announced for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that we have the main ones that I think could happen. But you never know. Maybe out of nowhere they'll pull some random thing, but yeah,
Yes.
hopefully we've got them all. But yes, like you said, it has been a very long road to WrestleMania, and I will say I think it's led to a little bit of a lull period here these last couple weeks of Raw and SmackDown. It's like they're just like, okay, we're here and we don't have anything else to do. So I'm hoping in the future they go back to early April because I think it's just a bit too long.
Yes, yeah, a little too long, but at the same time, it feels like we don't have enough of some of these build-ups, which
Uh,
we'll comment on as we see them. And some of them are just getting good now, and some of them feel like they've lasted way too long. So it's been a wild build. But one of the things that we'll be resolving on the Friday Night SmackDown before WrestleMania or WrestleMania SmackDown, I don't know what they call it, is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
they might call it that whole thing. You never
They
know.
might. They might.
Sometimes with those big titles, I feel like they change it up a little bit.
They do. They do. They
Uh,
like to do that. And there have
But
been
yeah,
like,
this one's a pretty important one. It definitely can shoot you up in your career if you want to take it to that next level. It's definitely pushed superstars to that next level, or maybe it hasn't. But it'd be nice if it did. Be nice if it did. So yeah, this is pretty much I think for everyone that doesn't have a WrestleMania match.
yeah,
So
pretty much.
this one's gonna be tough. We're gonna predict this. This could be a whole load of people. There's some people that are that have recently re-signed with WWE to show up. I don't know. I feel like you just wait until after at that point because this just because of what this has done for the superstars that have won doesn't feel big enough for a return. So I think it could be someone like I'm gonna go with Otis. I feel like I don't know. It just feels like he deserves that kind of win. I think he's had a good year, and I feel like any segment he's involved in goes well. So I think
Yeah.
this would just be a good way to kind of cap off the year that he's had. I think it makes sense. It feels like the right level.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I'm gonna go with Sheamus here just because I don't know if he's healthy or not healthy. I really thought he should have been in the Intercontinental picture this year, and he does always put on bangers, so it's a shame he's not on the WrestleMania card. So I say give him the Battle Royal. Give him something to do, but he could be injured. I really don't know why he's not on
Don't
television
know.
at the moment. But this
If he
is
wins, does he pull a Bobby Lashley and come out with the trophy, stand next to it, pose a little bit, and then just go back? Or
yeah,
do you
maybe
think he
that
cashes in and enters the Intercontinental Championship
makes it a
match?
fatal five-way. That is the stipulation. You can either cash in to get 5 seconds on WrestleMania, or you can cash in to enter a fatal four-way, make it a fatal five-way for a mid-card title. It's very specific. I wish
I
those were
wouldn't
the
mind
rules.
that if they did that.
I wish. Uh, and another thing that Randy Orton was going to be facing Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens, sadly, seemingly, it's always hard to trust it with WWE if something's real or not real, but it is announced that he has to go undergo neck surgery and is going to be out for the foreseeable future, kind of getting rid of this, which was going to be one of my most anticipated matches of Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania. So now Randy Orton doesn't have a match. I feel like they got to give him a match at at WrestleMania, and they kind of teased him versus Nick Aldis a little bit. They teased him largely versus Solo Sikoa as they ran off brawling at the end of last SmackDown. So, predicting who you think Randy Orton will face at WrestleMania if he gets a match and if he'll win. I think Randy Orton's going to win if he faces someone. And while I would most of all like it to be Kevin Owens was just fooling him because Randy Orton's had neck injury issues, so he's maybe just playing him and somehow comes back and actually has the match. That's what I wish would happen. I don't think that's going to happen. My next wish would be for Nick Aldis to actually step into the ring and have this whole Solo Sikoa thing be a red herring. But my prediction is going to be Solo Sikoa, and it'll be just a underwhelming outcome for what the matchup ends up being. But I think Randy Orton's going to beat him pretty good, and we'll have a couple nice moments.
I thought at the end there you were going to say, and put Tonga through the table. Because he's obviously going to throw him onto the table
It's true.
if that is the case. I think that's almost a guarantee. Uh, but yeah, I think he's also going to win. Whatever, if he does have a match, I think it just makes the most sense. And yeah, unfortunately, they really made it point towards Solo Sikoa. I don't love it, but especially, I mean, the worst part is it's how they've treated Solo Sikoa the last 4 or 5 months now. They've made him almost nothing, and it's a match that we're gonna get to later. It reminds me of that 100%. We've got a guy in Randy Orton who's always, I don't know how he does it. It's if you look at him versus like Charlotte Flair, it's two totally different reactions they get
Yeah.
coming back from these long absences. Even though you could argue Randy is in a very similar position, he gets a so totally different reaction than Charlotte gets, and it's just so weird that he could
Yes.
come back. He could be in the title picture, and no one would care. They would just immediately be, "Oh, yeah, sure, I'm all
Yeah,
for it." And maybe it's the fact that he doesn't always immediately get into the title picture. Maybe that helps.
that's true.
Um, but yeah, I'll take a shot on Nick Aldis.
Okay, okay. I
We've
hope so.
we've all well, we've all been wanting. I don't know that we've actually wanted it. I think just the idea of Nick Aldis and Adam Pierce,
Yeah,
those two going off against each other. I think that idea was interesting. I don't know that we actually all wanted that match, considering I don't know what that proves at the end of the day.
that's true. That's
But
true.
actually, getting one of them to wrestle would be interesting.
Yeah, I always like it when you get someone like that or Pat McAfee doing something, and it's just like, whoa, they can go. And I've never seen him as Magnus or whatever he was outside of WWE wrestling, so I only know him as a manager, so be a treat. And the other last thing that a lot of people, the whole internet wrestling community, is upset that we are not getting a multi-tag team ladder match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, which have been a really awesome division over the past few, maybe half year or so that they've been building up. We have a match between the champions, Street Profits, and Motor City Machine Guns on SmackDown. People are hoping that that gets disrupted and then you end up having to get them onto the WrestleMania card and possibly having a multi-team match. First off, do you think that is going to happen? Do you think a tag team, possibly ladder match, is going to be added to WrestleMania?
I think we'll at least get some tag team match. I don't know if it'll be a 5 or 6 team match necessarily, but I think that we will get some at least at a minimum two teams facing off. But yeah, I don't see why you couldn't have all 6 of these teams on the WrestleMania card. Uh, yeah, I'm shocked that it isn't.
Yeah,
I'm shocked with the way that they've handled the Raw tag team belts that one has made it onto WrestleMania, and I mean from where that could have gone and where it started, where it could have been. It could have been an interesting one, but the way they've totally fumbled that and the way they've been treating this one, it really seems like this one was the one that should have been on WrestleMania, and that should have been.
yeah,
I mean, it technically, I guess, was a match last week, so we're just
yeah.
getting that again, I guess. But
Yeah,
Yeah, I think there'll be something.
yeah, I think there will be as well. And I think this might be Pretty Deadly's moment to take it. Similar to last year, R-Truth and Miz got their moment. R-Truth could get another random teammate, or Miz could get another random teammate uh, to win at WrestleMania. Get his, what did you say it was, 10th tag
That's
team
what I'm
championship.
picking. If they do have a match, I'm picking Mello and Miz 'cause he's gonna get his 10th title,
Uh,
10th tag team belt.
I'd like it. That'd feel like a steal. After all these teams have built up this division, Miz comes in last minute with a ragtag tag team.
Classic Miz.
Classic Miz. Then we move on to something actually announced for the show, and that is the other tag team match division that we were talking about. The New Day. They've really, after that great heel turn, they have not done much at all. War Raiders. Oh, they messed with my head with the names here. They haven't done that much. They're good. They put on good matches, and they're probably better than the Judgment Day, which I think had like two title defenses in 100 days as champion. So they're better than them, but this is a rough division. And I'm not very invested in this at all, other than the possibility, rumors that maybe Big E is going to return, and that is why this is even on the card. I don't I don't think that's going to happen. Um, I'll go with the New Day though. I think if you put them in this spot, you have to have a big thing happen. So I think the New Day is winning this match.
I would agree. I would pick the New Day in this one, and yeah, this just goes to the whole WrestleMania thing because, man, they build. I don't know if it's because it's been too for some of these things just too long, and I don't know, just couldn't keep momentum on things going. I don't know. This has been ever since the Royal Rumble moment where we had like the string of oh my gosh, talented wrestler after talented wrestler after talented, and it's just like wow, any of these great people can win. This is going to be a great WrestleMania season. And after that point, it has all been downhill. I don't get it. I think that set my expectations for like this whole WrestleMania season so high because it's just like, wow, I've never felt a Royal Rumble where it's just felt like all these big names could be main eventing WrestleMania, and then none of them did, and it ended up being Jey winning the Rumble. I mean, I guess technically they will main event, and he doesn't even get to main event. So,
Yeah,
uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I'm hoping it'll be great.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, this is one of those where it's like, oh wow, that was a great heel promo. And maybe there was plans or hopes of something that maybe Big E was going to maybe be involved, and then maybe things didn't work. So
Yeah.
maybe they had to change things. I don't
And
know.
just like if he comes back, what
Doesn't make sense.
he costs them
Why?
the pizza belts against the War Raiders? Like that doesn't seem like that big of a get for Big E to have his big return be, I screwed you from winning the meaningless tag championships. But it could be cool. It could be cool. I hope he returns. That would be awesome. Um, yeah, it's so Jey Uso hate snuck into even this match. We'll have to keep count and see how many matches that can sneak into. But next up, we have the battle for greatest luchador of all time, Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. And we got to play the game here and act like, oh, I really wish Chad Gable could have gotten his match against Rey Mysterio, and it's such a sin that he's being left off the WrestleMania card. Got to get those jokes in here.
Yes, for sure. It's just a shame. They could maybe they'll make it a triple threat yet. Maybe Chad Gable will get in the match. It'll be a triple threat match. Maybe he'll be medically cleared. Uh, you never know. There's a chance. And I say if that happens, I think Chad Gable will win.
Okay,
I
okay.
think he will pin El Grande Americano
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
because he's going to show that he proved that he could beat the greatest luchadors.
That's true. That's true. That would mean he has conquered his demons and overcome them. So. Yeah, if Chad gets added to this match, I agree that will be the outcome. But between these two, oh geez, I'm like, do we unmask and finally prove Chad innocent at here? Does Rey Mysterio unmask El Grande for a big WrestleMania moment? I feel like I want to drag this out longer, and we're just getting to know El Grande. I want to keep him masked a little longer, especially with those that metal in the helmet or in the mask. I think that we're going to draw that out a little longer. I think El Grande Americano is going to take the win here.
Is he going to try to unmask Rey Mysterio?
Oh, he's going to try. He's going to try. He's going to try everything.
I don't know. I feel like this is they're gonna let Rey Mysterio win.
Yeah.
Uh, I I would like the El Grande Americano thing to continue as well, but I just don't know. I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah.
And it's just a shame that my prediction of El Luchador did not happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't. He did not come back as a masked wrestler yet.
No, no,
So maybe Chad will eventually do that, but just unfortunate that that didn't happen.
still hoping, still crossing your fingers for it. Okay, so we're a little different. Nice to have different predictions here, so we don't just match all the way. Well, if there's 13 matches, we should differ on some of them. But will we differ on this one? I don't think we're going to. Jade Cargill seeking revenge on the one who attacked her months ago, like half a year ago, Naomi, who is now wearing caution tape kind of style gear, this whole new heel persona, which I think is pretty good. I've never been a big fan of Naomi, except right now I'm like, okay, I'm starting to actually dig this character. It's much more interesting than just the glow. Although this one does seem to be made up in this picture, as if she is still with the glow. Um, but even with the new character, I'm gonna have to go with Jade Cargill. I think she's someone that they could build a streak around. I mean, she's just starting out. She won the WrestleMania tag match last year. I think if she wins this one, I could totally see her being this aura, this streak going forward at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jade as well, but I 100% agree on. I think there was a time where I did like Naomi, but I feel like she has been a bit stale for a while now, and this is definitely the most interesting of a character that she's been for a while, and it's kind of like, in a way, I kind of want her to win because I want her to kind of continue and go somewhere with it. Whereas if she loses, then I don't know if that just kills it. I don't know. It'll depend how it happens, I guess, if she loses. Maybe they can somehow still keep her strong. Because, yeah, I think she's. This has been shockingly, I don't know how. This is like one of my more interesting matchups on the card. I don't know. That doesn't really make sense to me because I think you were the one kind of in our predictions thinking something like this could happen. I don't know if this was the match you predicted or if it was something like this.
I think I might add Bianca, Jade, or something, or
No.
possibly triple threat.
And I was thinking Jade wasn't going to I was thinking she was like maybe had a like injury or something and wasn't going to return was what I thought. And then, of course, I think after we filmed that, it was like a week or two later that she returned. So then I knew I was wrong. But yeah, I think Jade will probably win.
Yeah, yeah. And next up, ooh, U.S. title match. Oh, this one, yeah. Shinsuke's out of the picture when we made our prediction. We were like, well, they're probably not going to change the title. He's probably going to have it. And so we were way wrong with our predictions. LA Knight's got it back. And he's going against one of their most protected, one of the hottest guys of this last year since he's debuted, Jacob Fatu. And I'm like, if there's no interference, there's no way that they have Jacob Fatu lose this. But they just gave the belt back to LA Knight. So I usually I'd be like, I don't know where they're gonna go with this, but I think I don't know. You predict this one first. I predicted the last one, the hard
That's
one of
true.
Jade Cargill.
That is true. I can go first on this one because I feel pretty confident that Jacob Fatu is going to win this one. I I think it hurts him a lot more to lose this than it hurts LA Knight. I think the only way you could keep the title on him if you wanted is have Jacob Fatu kind of just lose it or something and get
Mhm.
disqualified. So I
What
guess
about
then
Solo
technically
Sikoa? They've had tension between
that's
Fatu
true.
and
I mean, yeah, I
you
think
run that
you could,
again? Cost him by accident?
yeah, possibly. I think that's the only way he loses is some DQ thing, but I don't know. I think keep him strong, have him just win it. No funny business. I'd like that a lot more. I think that's a better way to go. And then maybe you can have them feud
Yeah.
afterwards,
Yeah.
or maybe even like look like he's going to cost him it, and then have him still be able to overcome that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'll go with Fatu as well. I don't want to think like play too smart and be like, okay, he could lose in this way, and then he just dominates LA Knight, and I'm like, well, now I feel stupid. Uh, I'll go with Fatu. It's just way more protected at this point, and I don't think LA loses
Has he lost yet,
popularity. I don't think so. I don't think he's
or a
been pinned.
singles match?
Yeah, I don't think he's lost one-on-one, fairly pinned in the ring or anything like that. So, he'll. How long can that last, though? What's his? Oh boy, I don't know. How high can he go? Oh boy, can he soar as high as Charlotte Flair returns, wins the Rumble? Oh boy, yeah. Those Rumble outcomes, man, they really messed with this WrestleMania.
Oh boy, yeah, this one. Oh man, I don't even know. That that confrontation between them was hard to watch. It just felt immediately like when the crowd, I don't even remember what the crowd was chanting or something, but they got really loud and it just seemed like maybe, I don't know. I think there was rumors that Charlotte was like going off script right away first, so then Tiffany not, hasn't been in that situation enough to know what to do. But it just seemed like neither one kind of knew what to even do in that moment. And I don't know. Yeah. This one's been another one that I thought could be built up and I could be really excited about, but I don't know that I'm really all that excited for it anymore. Just kind of like, it could be good. It could be one of the better wrestled matches on the show, but I'm not all that invested in it. Um, I don't know who's gonna win this one. I mean, I could see him just wanting to give Charlotte another title,
Yeah,
but I don't know at what cost.
yeah. I really don't know. I don't know who's gonna win. This is like 50-50 to me. I'm
How
like,
many championships does Charlotte have?
I think she's got
Rings?
like 14 or 13 or something like that.
Which is insane. It's insane to think she has that many.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I would pick the opposite of you, no matter what you picked on this. Or I guess if I go first, I don't know. It always feels like, oh, the good guy should win at WrestleMania. It's the big payoff thing. But
I don't know. Yeah, I would agree. At WrestleMania, for some reason, it seems like Charlotte's always the bad guy that wins. I don't know why. It's always against these people that it's like, oh, it'd be good for them to get the win over
yeah,
Charlotte, and no, it doesn't happen.
yeah, I think she beat Asuka. I think she beat Rhea Ripley one of the years. So I'm like, I could see her beating her here, and then being a good heel, and maybe Tiffy. That maybe we continue this program, and Tiffy is on the chase, and maybe that's a better dynamic for the two of them, possibly. But
You
I
sold me. I'll
don't
go
know.
with Charlotte.
You're going with Charlotte. Okay, I'll go with Tiffy. I can see him going either way. Maybe the
I could
feel-good
too.
moment, Tiffy time at WrestleMania.
That's true. You would have thought they'd leave it in Minneapolis
That's,
if they were going to have Tiffy win to be a hometown hero, but
that's true.
I mean, it makes sense. Bring it to Las Vegas for Charlotte.
Yeah, there you go. Ooh, oh boy. The big main event oos in the
Yay!
ye- wherever this is going to fall on the card. Not the main event though. Jey Uso getting his Royal Rumble match against what? Gunther. I was like, what? I was going to say the something. I'm like, what was he
The
called? Oh
Ring
yeah,
General.
the ring general. Gunther. Oh boy. Yeah, people were talking like maybe Gunther's gonna squash him like throughout the weeks, like oh, and then Gunther's gonna squash him and continue reigning. I'm like it might be like that. That might happen because there were times where we thought Roman Reigns was gonna lose it, and I was like, nope, he won. He beats Cody, he carries it for another year. Are they gonna do that again here with Jey? Are they gonna draw that out more? But they made it so personal with Jimmy bathing in Jimmy's blood and licking it up, which is very weird for Gunther to do. Um, but I think Jay's going to have to win this one. It's just too big of a moment for him, and I don't know if he's going to get another chance at it.
Oh, Pepper, 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 you brought this upon us. You brought this upon us when I was saying how Jay was going to enter the Royal Rumble first or second, because they needed the Yeats. That's what they've been building up, the Royal Rumble Yeats. And you're like, well, unless he wins. They were just too focused on the Yeats. That's all they had. So after he won, what was it, like 3 or 4 weeks? Pretty much all he did was yeet,
Yep.
yeet down the crowd,
He,
maybe say one word, then yeet some more. And they found out that gets old after about 3 or 4 weeks. Can't do that for 12 weeks in between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. So then, then you had to fill in the rest of the time, and it's been not the greatest. And then it's like, oh, okay, that's really fallen down for me. And then it's like, oh well, send Jay out again and send him out and have him do a heartfelt kind of message to the folks. And it's like, okay, well, I've heard this like 3 times now. It's like every 3 weeks you come out here and say something like that. And then, yeah, finally you do something interesting with Jimmy.
yeah.
Because if they hadn't done that, I think there would be like nothing going into this
Oh,
match.
yeah. Yeah.
If they didn't do that segment, that I don't even know. This would be like so dead in the water, I think.
Yeah.
Uh, so at least that did bring a little bit back.
Yeah.
But I think Gunther has to win this. I think this has hurt Jay, but I think this has hurt Gunther even more.
Oh,
Because I mean, well, at least he's gotten to fight like some of these Tozawa and Otis. They put on great matches, and I'm like,
yeah.
so he can put on great matches with these guys that are maybe not seen as main eventers. So if Jay comes into this and does not look good, that is not going to be a good sign of things to come, I don't think.
Oh
Uh,
boy. You think Gunther gonna win?
I think Gunther is going to win. I think he's going to dominate him.
Okay.
I don't think Gunther is messing around.
Okay, I could see it. I could see it. I'm just getting flashbacks to Brock Lesnar beating Roman Reigns again whenever they were in New Orleans or whatever. Left Roman Reigns bloody. Everyone's like, wow, Brock just retained. And I think we're going to have a similar feeling if that happens here. But it would be a swerve, so I like that. I like to be surprised.
We'll
Hmm,
see what kind of entrance Jay gets. If he gets the Yeats out right away,
it's true.
it's over.
That's
If he
true.
comes down the ramp, then I would probably change my pick.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Day of prediction. Last minute. And then the actual main event of the first night of WrestleMania, Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, possibly for the custody of Paul Heyman.
I was wondering, I'm like, that's got to be on there. Got to be on there.
Here.
Yeah, I. It's so weird because I was arguing, and it was so obvious. I don't know how I kind of forgot that Punk and Roman both had Paul Heyman as a guy. Uh, I just saw it as Roman and Seth. I'm like, okay, well, their history, especially even just looking back at last WrestleMania, how Seth kind of screwed him one more time. And it's like, okay, that's a great payoff. And CM Punk is just kind of the third wheel here. But now they've made it so much more about Seth being the third wheel. I don't understand how they did it. But yeah, I'm hoping this one will be good. I don't know. It's weird to me because I feel like in a way I'm not that excited about this match.
Yeah,
Like the promos and stuff had been good and interesting, and probably some of the better stuff for WrestleMania. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't know what the winner of this really gets out of it.
yeah,
Like you said, the custody of Paul Heyman, possibly. So
yeah.
I like the most interesting outcome to me would be Seth Rollins winning and Paul Heyman siding with him, and then them going on like some I don't know
Okay.
run. Even then, though, I don't know what that would end up being like. If that would actually feel right, I don't know. But that's the most interesting outcome,
Yeah,
I
probably.
think.
Yeah, because it feels so set in stone. It's like, well, Paul's never going to be apart from Roman Reigns. That's just going to be till they retire. And it's like if they actually were making new ground, breaking new ground, new stories, bringing Paul over to Seth Rollins, it would be like, whoa, that's like totally game-changing stuff happening, developments in the story. But I don't know if they're actually going to do that. I don't think Paul's really going to betray anyone. I think he's going to continue to be friends with both Roman and Punk. And I think that is going to allow Seth Rollins to sneak away with a victory in this match. But I don't know if he necessarily walks away with Paul Heyman.
Hmm, interesting. Because I think everyone at the end of the match is going to be putting their ones up because I think Roman Reigns is going to win.
You think Roman? None of us are picking CM Punk. I thought you picked CM Punk for sure.
Actually, I feel like to me, CM Punk feels like the least likely to win for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think he needs to win the match.
No, he's got his main event. That's all that matters.
All right.
Yeah,
Seth probably needs to win it the most. I
yeah, I
think he
think
probably
so.
needs to win.
He does feel like that third wheel the most, so it probably helps him. And I'm guessing the Paul Heyman, them fighting over Paul Heyman's going to be a feud after it, Punk and Roman maybe. So this would give Seth
True.
kind of a breaking off point to just be like, well, I'm done with them. Go off to my own thing.
That's true. I guess I don't really know what Roman gains from winning, but
Yeah,
it is, I just he always seems to win those matches that
yeah.
I've never expect him to win, so that's what I'm going with.
Going with the big dog. And on to night two. I start off with another tag team match. So both two of three tag team championships being represented on WrestleMania. Not the one that's actually been good. This is the women's tag team championship belts. Liv Morgan and Rocky Rodriguez defending against two that were just feuding for the Intercontinental Championship, Lyra Valkyria and Bayley.
And participated in the greatest wrestling match of the year against each other.
That's true. That was a very, very good match.
It was a good match.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I think because of that, they were just feuding. I think they're probably losing this match, and I think Liv and Raquel are going to retain their tag team titles
Okay.
versus this ragtag group.
I'm gonna agree with you here. I think Liv and Rocky are going to retain as well. Might even be a heel turn and turning on each other on the other team. Somehow just not be able to coexist. I'm sure Bailey still wants that championship. So going with that. And next up, oh boy. Come on, give what is with AJ Styles and just the most random WrestleMania matches? I don't get it.
They just don't want him to have one more title run. I don't know.
Wow. Well,
Yeah,
this
I don't.
might
We
get him
both
up in
thought that he
flames.
would be facing Logan Paul would be facing Joe Hendry, but that did not happen. Instead, he's facing pretty much the same thing of an AJ
Yeah,
Styles. Uh, this is an interesting match. It should be a good one.
yeah,
I think on paper it could be the match of the two nights.
yeah.
Potentially, it has the potential for that. Um, AJ Styles should be able to carry the match. I think still, even in his old age, and Logan Paul can get to where he needs to be to live up to the hype. Um, but yeah, I'm hoping this one will be a really good match. my my heart wants me to say AJ Styles so that he can maybe go from this into like a major title feud, like maybe one more time. Because I don't think he's got many left in him, many chances left. So it's like I'd really like him to win because I think that could push him up there to maybe take on. I don't even know what show he's on anymore. I guess either
Yeah,
Gunther or because obviously Jay's not going to win, so he'd be taking on Gunther or the winner of Cena. Oh, I could see him taking on Cena or Cody.
Cena.
I think those would both be good.
That would be good.
But just feels like Logan Paul's gonna win. But yeah, he doesn't need the win. AJ needs the win more. I'm going with AJ.
Okay. Ah, dang it. I was hoping you'd pick Logan Paul because I am going with AJ Styles, the phenomenal one. I think he needs to win more just to solidify himself. I think he said he doesn't even want to wrestle at 50, let alone past 50. So I think that gave him like three more WrestleManias, like either including this one or four including this one. I don't know which one it was. Two, three, just a few WrestleManias left. So I want to get him on the top tier, the main event, as soon as possible. And that means winning this match, ending the rivalry hopefully soon, even though I do enjoy Logan Paul. But move on to some main event action. And in the Prime bottle, I'll just go with Mr. Beast. That seems to be a popular opinion if there is a Prime bottle. Otherwise, people say Kai Cenat. I don't know who that is. I'm going with Mr. Beast in the Prime bottle if there is someone as an extra. Do you know anyone that could be in that Prime bottle?
Uh, the Gronk.
The Gronk. Ooh, huge Prime bottle. I like it.
Maybe Tom Brady.
And then we move on to the Fatal Four-Way for the Intercontinental Championship. We got the dogs are loose. Braun Breaker champion defending against Penta, who has made a huge impact since his debut, versus two Judgment Day members fighting. Can they coexist? That'll be the question. But for themselves, Dominic Mysterio, dirty Dominic Mysterio, and Finn, who has turned into Win Balor in recent weeks, getting probably his first two wins in the last 7 years.
That's true, and it's come against Penta both times.
Yeah,
So yeah, Penta's just kind of a loser. So he's the new Penta. They call him now, taking the fall. But yeah, this one could be a fun matchup. I'm hoping this one actually lives up to the hype. I think during our predictions, we had thought there were many matches
yeah,
that could end up being triple threats, fatal four ways, and I think we only ended up with three being triple
I
threats
think
or
so.
fatal four ways, which is kind of crazy because it definitely seemed like there was going to be a lot more. But
Yes.
maybe if we get that tag match, maybe that'll bring another one of those kind of
Mhm.
multi man matchups. But yeah, this one I don't think any of us predicted quite this,
Nope.
but I do like it. I love the I love how these ones all could work together, especially with Braun Breaker being the powerhouse here against three kind of smaller guys. I think that could be a lot of fun.
Yes, see, just you witnessed in person, maybe the greatest spear of all time on Carlito.
Yes, that it was crazy because I almost didn't even catch it because it was so fast. I did not realize how fast he could actually run like without even going against the ropes. I know they'd like brought that up so many times when he first started. They're like, "Oh, he gets going. What is it, 20 some miles an hour off the ropes or whatever they were saying." But I was like, "Holy smokes, he has speed. He doesn't even have to go off the ropes." It just seemed like he just killed Carlito, and yeah, it's just they've been showing. I've been seeing those videos pop up ever since of showing the different angles and stuff, and I'm like, wow, yeah, it was pretty great spear. I think he could replicate some good spears in this match as well.
Yes, for sure. And oh, I would love to see Braun Breaker just continue to be champion. So I could see them going that route. I could see Finn Balor sneaking a win here, Judgment Day tension going away, and hit going all of Finn's way. Like he says that he should be this leader and be getting all these wins. I don't think they're gonna give it to Penta, but they could. They could cap off this debut with a win for him. That would probably be the most shocking outcome here. But I gotta go with Dirty Dominic Mysterio. I predicted it. I predicted a triple threat, actually. I wanted Sheamus, Braun Breaker. I think that was my wish list of what would happen. Sheamus, Braun Breaker, Dominic Mysterio. Plain spoiler for both of them. And I actually had him walking away with the title. And I think this is going to be a similar situation. I think he's going to spoil all these guys' days, especially Finn Balor, probably breaking them up for good, kicking Finn out of the JD, and taking the IC title home to live.
Does JD return if he's
Ooh,
healthy? I guess I don't know how long he was out.
JD McDonough, does he return? I don't think so. I don't think so.
If he did return, do you think that'd be good or bad for Finn?
I think he would stick with Finn. I think that would be. I think that, although if he sticks with him, that might make it worse because that's just more targets for Braun Breaker to spear.
Bring him back from injury immediately. Take the Carlito spear from Ron Breaker. Welcome back, JD.
So, ooh,
Yeah, oh boy. I wanted to pick Dom. I wanted to pick Dirty Dom, but now you're making it like, oh, there's four guys here. Do I really need to pick the same guy? Yeah, I'd love Braun's title reign to continue, but part of me also I'd love if Braun just went to the next level and
yeah.
was put in a top title feud after this. So I would not mind that at all. So I will go against you, even though I think Dirty Dom is the pick here. I will go with Finn Balor.
Ooh,
Maybe they finally give him a win, another title since his. I think he was the Intercontinental Champion for a little bit, but it'd be his first title in a while.
yeah, that'd be.
So,
I could see it. I could see it.
but yeah, they've just been teasing the Judgment Day breakup, and if he wins, it just doesn't feel like that's well, unless they do like a Batista, he could
Uh,
be sitting up on Raquel's shoulders, live.
yeah. I would love to. I would love to see that just recreated 100% shot for shot.
I thought I don't know if it was it you or someone was saying that they should set it up the same way. Have Dirty Dom win, have Finn there,
Oh,
and then it
oh,
looks like that's what it's going to be, but then all of them turn on Finn.
oh my goodness.
So it looks like it's going to be that, but then they turn on him instead and kick him
Ooh,
out of the Judgment Day. But
I
I
could.
don't quite know how that works, but
Yeah,
maybe.
that'd be a little weird, but I like it. I like it. So yeah. So either way, we're hoping for a JD Judgment Day member to win here. And then it will be Penta, and then we'll all be just fools for doubting.
Exactly.
But it should have been Sheamus. Put Sheamus in here. Make it a five-man. Come on, there's still time.
There's still time.
And then next up, have they won you over? Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre. You were not a fan of it. I don't think either of us were. Felt like it was a step down for Drew McIntyre. But they've
Hmm.
had some good weeks of build. Some pretty awesome stuff. And it's kind of the only match with an actual stipulation. A street fight, Sin City street fight. It could get crazy.
Yeah, that was going to be another thing I was going to say with the way that this has gone to building up to WrestleMania and stuff. It's just crazy to me because this was definitely one of the points of I was really low on this, and they're like, or when Damien eliminated Drew from the Royal Rumble, and it's like a murmur saying like, "Oh, Drew is upset leaving or whatever because he's had to face Damian Priest after." what I would argue was one of the best years from any of the people, and it did feel like a step down. But yeah, somehow over the last few weeks, they've built this up to be one of my probably one of the matches I'm looking forward to the most again, which is crazy. This and then uh, Naomi versus
Oh yeah.
Jade, those two being kind of two of the top ones I'm looking forward to, doesn't make any sense to me because I was not excited about either of those two. Uh, 2 months ago when we were making our predictions originally. So yeah, they've been able to do it. It doesn't surprise me because anything Drew does, whatever he touches, it turns to gold. How they don't give him a title opportunity? I mean, hopefully they give him a title opportunity after this because if they don't, I don't know where he goes after whooping up on Damian Priest because he's gonna win.
You think Drew McIntyre is gonna win this?
He's been taking L's all year. Somehow he's the top guy, even though he's taking all these L's.
Okay, okay. Good prediction. Good prediction, but you're wrong. I don't know why, but it's just been set in my mind this whole time. Damian Priest is going to win this match.
I
Damian
think
Priest.
that's the worst part about. That's why we did not like it from the beginning because that's exactly what it meant. It means, oh, not only is Drew facing him, he is taking an L to him.
Yes, a
We all
foolish
know it.
one. He's going to get rolled up.
He's yeah.
I
Oh
think
god.
I
If he
think
gets rolled
Damian's
up, I
winning.
swear to God,
I think he's
in a
Damian's going to
street
win
fight,
it
if he gets rolled up,
immediately. Waste the whole match stipulation. Not all street fights have to leave the ring. That's what we'll say.
oh boy.
I think Damian's taking it. I've always thought it. Like they're not gonna give Drew. Although they gave him a win over Punk, so if they can give him a win over Punk, they can certainly give him a win over Damian Priest. Um,
What do
but
you
if
think
they
of the
do,
card backgrounds they got? Would you want a deck of cards that looks like that?
I would want a glowing Scotsman deck of cards. I do really like the style that they have with the Vegas and the cards, all the symbols there at the bottom. It's very cool. Very cool. What do we got? What do we got next? We're coming close to the end here. Final two matches. And we've got the Women's World Championship, which this has been quite the road to get to this match. Io Sky is champion. I don't think any of us predicted. I think I predicted she'd be in the match, but I did not predict she would be champion going into the match, defending against Bianca Belair. Elimination Chamber winner, and former champion Rhea Bloody Ripley in a triple threat match, which can get wild, can get no disqualification being a triple threat. So that is one good thing about the multi-man matches. It does add the possibility of kind of a stipulation in there. Oh, this one is very unpredictable. I Bianca Belair kind of has an undefeated streak going. She did lose a battle royal when she was on NXT on the pre-show one year, but I think they're not counting that. So like Jade Cargill, they might want to build the streak again. I think she got like 3 or 4 wins in a row on the main card. So it's like, well, it's probably about time for her to have a championship again anyway. And she's got a streak, two things in her favor. But Io Sky just won the title and has kind of been the underdog in the story. So I'm like, well, that's a few things in her favor. But then Rhea Ripley is the most popular female star in wrestling, it seems like. I'm like, well, that's could go with her too. I'm just gonna go with Io Sky for this one. I That's probably just what I want to win, and it just feels like that would be the most hurt by losing this match, I think she would be out of the three.
Yeah, the way they've been building it, it yeah, they've just made her seem like the third wheel the whole time, even though she's the one with the championship. Uh, so yeah, it would be a huge slap in the face, I think, if they have her lose. Uh, but it does seem like one of the other ones should probably win, probably Bianca. But now that they've booked it the way they have, I just don't know how Io Sky could come out of that if she lost and
Yeah,
be like a competitive wrestler or a
no,
female in the division again.
yeah.
She'd have to rebuild. I don't know.
Maybe they just keep handing it back and forth for a few months, kind of like they have done in the build up, and it doesn't
That's true.
really hurt any of them because they just keep doing the same thing. Um,
It's true. I guess if you have them all kind of face each other, keep facing each other for a few months, I guess that could work. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Io Sky as well. I think just with what we've seen, that makes maybe the most sense. Although she did she leave them laying out last?
I don't know. I think it would have been last Monday that you saw, which I think she kind of ended up
Jumped off the top rope and
and kind of drop kicked both of them. So I think she was the last one standing tall.
ooh,
Not
that's not
good.
always that does not always bode well for that person.
No. Oh boy, is he sticking with it?
I'm sticking with it though.
Sticking with it. Sticking with it. Okay, and then the main event. Main event. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. Heel John Cena. Turn that upside down frown upside down, John. He's supposed to be a bad guy. I
Yeah,
don't know about it.
he doesn't look very bad. It kind of looks like the opposite.
It
If I
does.
had no idea and I was coming into it, I'd be like, "Oh, yep, the guy on the left is the bad guy."
It does look like that.
And it looks like a guy on the left that doesn't know how to hold a championship belt.
Oh boy, does that nightmare come to an end? I, I don't know.
Oh man. This was my other option that I thought since Randy all of a sudden doesn't have a match.
Ooh,
Maybe John Cena fails The Rock and Randy talks to his old buddy Rock because I know they're buddies.
buddies.
I don't know what history they have, if any, but they both have bloodlines.
I
So
agree.
I could see Randy somehow getting involved in this. It would make sense to me, considering it's Cena's last year, supposedly. Um, and he's got a history with Cody as well.
That's
So
true.
I think I could see maybe Randy, if he doesn't get a match, he could get himself involved in this.
That's true. That's true. I could see that. I could see that. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna compete with last year's main event. Like, there's so many expectations. Like, okay, we're gonna have Stone Cold here. We're gonna have The Rock. We're gonna have Travis Scott, possibly Randy Orton. All these people getting involved. I'm like, you can't just keep doing that every year. At some year, you gotta stop, or maybe you don't. Maybe we do just keep getting crazy bloodline rules type of interference at the end of these matches. I feel there's got to be something. We've said we're getting John Cena and Cody at the night before WrestleMania, the SmackDown before, so we do get a little more. But just not having John Cena in the past couple episodes has just kind of left this being like, what is going to happen? Like, I felt like if we had more of a build, I'd be like, okay, John Cena's thought he was going to take this. But now it just feels like there's not quite enough build there for me to feel like it totally works to be Cody Rhodes losing the title. It feels a little out of nowhere if he were to at this point.
Yeah,
Um,
and here we get to my last thoughts on what a disaster this WrestleMania has been. We get one of the biggest moments ever in wrestling of a John Cena heel turn, and somehow, I don't know, we've somehow made it, in my opinion, the way they presented it as a heel turn and involved The Rock and everything, making it kind of even bigger than just being a heel turn. Like, he had already won the Elimination Chamber and could have been celebrating with Cody. You could have not had The Rock involved in any way. And then, you know, could be shaking hands like, oh, I might be facing you, and then just have him go all heel and just
yeah,
beat Cody up. And it could have not had The Rock involved at all, but instead we chose to get The
that's
Rock
true.
involved. And then now have not had The Rock. I don't think he's been on anything since.
I don't think so.
And then John Cena, I don't think has he mentioned why The Rock was involved in that at all?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of. And he wants to destroy the business. Cena wants to destroy the business. The Rock is the head of the business, so I don't think that fits together very well.
Doesn't really make much sense, but so it's like, well, oh, well, maybe Rock's gonna get involved in this, and maybe like Cena loses or something, and Rock comes out and is like, oh, we're restarting the match or something. But it's like, okay, well, that's what it was all about then, that he was just gonna be there to restart it if that was
Mm,
the case. That feels a little cheap. It doesn't feel very fulfilling.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think they got something good
We got
cooked up
one
for us.
Friday night SmackDown left
I've really enjoyed
before.
all the promos from Cena
That's true.
between him
I
and
think it's
Cody.
just because The Rock was involved that it's
Yeah,
just left a bad taste in my mouth because it's like, why was he involved then? Why was
yeah.
he even there?
It
They
just
could have
adds
just
all those
turned Cena heel.
questions that are just kind of distracting from the thing, where the thing is really good.
Right,
But we're just like, okay, what's behind this? And it's just not answered yet. Maybe we do get the answers at WrestleMania, or maybe not. But either
right.
way, I gotta go with John Cena. I think John Cena's got to win this one. And I mean, because it's like, okay, maybe you don't want him to win the 17th as the heel or whatever. And we're like, okay, it's maybe not the right moment in this storyline to do it, or it feels a little weird with The Rock and all that. But I mean, if you just take a step back and look at it from history perspective, I'm like, just let him win the 17th on his final WrestleMania. He just turned heel. It's a huge turn for the character. It just is the right moment to do it, I think. And I think we would regret it if we uh, didn't pull the trigger right here.
Yeah, I think it's got to be John Cena one way or another. Uh, I, I just don't think it makes any sense if Cody ends up winning. Like, I don't know what Cena does. I guess maybe the only other option is you do have Jey win, and immediately that next Monday have John Cena come out with The Rock or something, and have The Rock say,
Could be.
"Jey, you're going to be defending that title right now against John Cena," and John Cena wins it there.
That could be. I
I
could
don't
see
know,
that.
but I mean, like, I don't know. Because
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
think it really makes sense for him to go then after Gunther. Does he go back after Cody again?
Mm,
Because he's trying to win a championship. He's kind of made that his goal here to be the last champion.
yeah,
But it wouldn't really make sense for him then to just be like, well, now what am I going to do?
yeah, yeah, that's true.
I don't know where he goes if he doesn't win.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's the end of Cena's heel turn, and then he's like, oh, well, that didn't work, so I
Yeah,
guess.
the Rock comes out to try to restart the match, and John Cena's like, no, we're not going to do that. And then he turns face again by giving the
Oh,
Rock an attitude adjustment.
uh,
Wow, what a turn. That was all worth it.
just for a
So that we could
three.
get The Rock versus John Cena 3 at SummerSlam. And
Yeah.
The Rock is going to make John Cena's life hell.
Oh, that would be crazy. It'd be something. It'd be a moment. I don't know if it'd be the best, but it would be a moment. But yeah, that is the final match here. I guess one little more prediction. Does the announce table get broken? Has it been building up to this reinforced announce table getting its big moment at WrestleMania to finally be broken? Or is it going to remain undefeated?
I think it will remain undefeated.
Okay, okay. I think it's gonna get a moment. I think it's getting broken because that's gonna be a big moment. I guess I don't know if it's just a. I think it's not just a Netflix table. I think it's on all brands and pay-per-views. I think we're getting it broken. I mean, imagine the pop people are like, that's an unbreakable table. My goodness. Cena just AA'd The Rock through the table.
Okay, maybe that'll happen. That's if Logan Paul doesn't put AJ Styles through it first.
True. That is true.
But yeah, those are our predictions. Let us know how we are so very wrong. Let us know all your predictions below, who you've got winning all these matchups. If you think there's going to be any other matchups that pop up, let us know what you think, what you would like to see. If you just could add one match of whatever you wanted onto this card, what it would be. Uh, But yeah, otherwise, we hope to see you on the next one. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on that WrestleMania popcorn.